So slavery became illegal. Now it's going to be illegal to teach slavery in schools. It seems really odd.
I mean, where is he going to draw the line? Somewhere between abolition and now? I don't know where Ron DeSantis considers the history versus the now.
Joining me now, my friend Jeff Charles, contributor to Red State, Liberty Nation, author of a new book out called Chasing Liberty, coming out on February 25th. If I know Jeff, it should be good. Jeff, I understand that it's all about who you know and things like that, but how do these people get on television? I really genuinely want to know. Don Lemon has his own television show. Don Lemon is an idiot by any measure and a moron about everything, and yet he sits there every day for an hour on CNN. It amazes me.
Well, I've always said, Jesse, and I'm still debating this, but I think I'm in the wrong line of work. You can get paid big bucks if you're a black man going on a TV screen to call people racist. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, black men and women, they use these black faces to call everybody racist because it sounds better coming from a black person than from a white progressive.
All right, what is DeSantis doing? To be honest with you, Jeff, I don't know. I've seen the headlines. I've seen a couple video clips. What is he banning? Is he banning talks of slavery? What's he doing down there?
No, he's not. But that is the narrative that they're running with, just the same way they did with the parental rights and education bill. So here's what happened. The College Board, which is the organization that's responsible for administering the SAT test, they came out with this advanced placement, this AP African American Studies course for older high school students. And they've been rolling out this pilot to about 60 different schools across the country. So they tried to introduce this to Florida, and they rejected it. Not outright. They said, basically, we're not going to accept this as is because it doesn't have a lot of educational value. But if you retool it and resubmit it, then we'll take another look at it. And the issue wasn't so much the fact that it was teaching about Black history, African-American studies, but as they always do, they start inserting in this Marxist propaganda. They wanted to put queer theory into it, stuff that doesn't have much to do with the history of Black America. And it goes against the Stop Woke Act. So it's against Florida law to basically indoctrinate children in this stuff. It has a lot of stuff inspired by critical race theory. And the main issue here, Jesse, that I have with it, it's not the fact that it has material from Marxist thinkers, because Marxism has been in the Black community and throughout history. The problem is that it doesn't have opposing viewpoints. Like you don't see anything about like Booker T. Washington, Frederick Douglass, Walter E. Williams, people like that. So if this is supposed to inspire critical thinking, why not include both sides? No, it was very much one-sided in favor of Marxism. It talked about overthrowing capitalism and things like that.
I wish more people knew about Frederick Douglass. No one knows about Frederick Douglass. It's weird. All right, let me ask you something about the Marxism in the Black community, because this is a thing. It's a thing most people don't want to talk about for various reasons, but it is a thing that has been there for quite some time. Even the Soviets were getting involved in the civil rights movement and stuff like that. How did that come about? Why is that a thing? Where'd that come from, Jeff?
It really started after World War I ended. And you had a lot of people coming back, and in the Black community, especially during the Harlem Renaissance, that's where a lot of Marxist thought was taking hold in Black communities. Now, most Black people, even back then, and especially now, are not Marxists. Most Black people are not communist, but these influences were still coming into the community through people like W.E.B. Du Bois and others. But it really blew up during the during the Harlem Renaissance, and then you had the Red Summer, those riots, and that's when it started to flourish. And the Black community wasn't getting much of an alternative from the other party, the Republican Party. So there are a lot of Black people who jumped on to that, and that legacy even still remains today. I mean, you were just bringing up people like Don Lemon. That's where you get a lot of that far left wing intelligentsia.
Man, are we really referring to Lemon as part of intelligentsia? Gosh, that's a sad state of affairs for this country, Jeff. All right.
We did have Eric Swalwell on the House Intelligence Committee.
We did. I still can't believe we had a guy who was sleeping with the Chinese spy on the House Intel Committee. You know what? Setting that aside for a moment. You have a piece out on Red State about school choice. We hear this a lot. School choice, school choice, school choice. Where do we stand on it? Are we getting better?
I think I am cautiously optimistic. I mean, it is National School Choice Week right now, and Iowa finally passed a significant piece of school choice legislation. The governor there has been trying to get this going for years. He has tried twice, and it's always been voted down, but third time was a charm. So they went ahead and got that passed. Here in Texas, we're both in Texas, and we have our legislative session right now, and I can tell you, school choice is on the docket and it's going to be one of the main issues. And I think that Texas actually has a really good chance of getting this passed. I mean, school choice became even more hot over the past 3 years when people realized what their children were being taught in school. So I am optimistic. I mean, we had Arizona passing landmark legislation last year. I think more states are going to follow because it's got support from everybody. Even people who vote Democrat want school choice. It's really the far left progressives who want the government to decide where and how our children are educated, which should be a surprise to absolutely nobody.